You're a bowl of cherries. Welcome back to Crypto's juiciest news. Biddy Coin, 100,000 American dollars. Ethereum still sliding around. Unfortunately, Ethereum is still getting cucked. I mean, you're not surprised, are you, friends? The green monthly candle for Biddy Coin at around 100K. We're going to just check out a bit of the smaller time frames just to like get our feet wet a bit, friends, because Biddy Coin still going sideways here. At least it's gone sideways at 100K. That's the most important part of all, right? It's actually quite a unique time. I remember, friends coming in, seeing crypto, Bitcoin at 6K, 5, 4, 3 in those capitulations at the end of 2018. I really thought 100K was destined in 2021. So did everybody else. I mean, like you had the perfect backdrop, right? Infinite QE, 0% rates. And then you kind of realize, wait a minute. Excuse me, why didn't we hit $100,000 as we've come to know, friends? Now, when only the benefit of hindsight, the interest rate and the monetary policy of the Federal Reserve, it's not as important as we think. They don't deviate as much as we think. They are constantly printing the same amount, and the crypto market prices it in. They just press different buttons, okay? There's a QE here, there's an interest rate here, there's a treasury account over there, but they're still debasing always the same amount, between 5 and 7%. And you know who knew that? The Bitcoin price. But all of us, we're coming in here, we're like, well, something's not adding up here. Why didn't we hit 100K? A lot of people say Soy Bankman-Fried, but I want you to think about that. So that was that was the interest rates on the downside, where you're like, oh, you should have gone higher than we thought, right? But actually, another trap is forming. You can see it right now. Interest rates are pretty high. Interest rates are still like 4.5% for Americana. Okay, and people are saying, well, we want there's a lot of mid-curvers, friends, a lot of mid-curvers, a lot of mainstream KOLs. They want the interest rates to go down to zero or much, much lower. They want basically the economy to crash and crypto to crash so they can get in the rest of their stable coins because they're soy boys. And then they think we're going to have a big alt season. But as I've shown you before, right, if you look through the lens of history, the biggest crypto bull market we ever had was Donald Pump in 2017. Rates were going up during this time. Rates were the highest they'd been in like 8 years in this time. It was the first time they'd raised rates, and it was a huge, huge amount, friends. The economy is very, very brittle by then. And we had massive alt season, and it was just wild because you had Ethereum and XRP bursting up. So we're seeing a 2017 spirit re-emerge, but actually we're just seeing the unfortunate part of it's just XRP that's been moving up early, not Ethereum. Now, before I check anything, just so you can practice with me, before I look at anything else, friends, every single day I check others BTC. Okay, it's a weekly chart. It ain't going anywhere. This sets the tone for everything. This is what I want to know. I want to see that, okay, altcoins as a wider market, they are low. They are cheap. I don't care what Bitcoin's US dollar price is. I don't care at all. In fact, like, just to remind you as well, just to show you, friends, it's not as easy as you think to predict this stuff. Look at what it did in zombie virus in 2020. Like, others BTC was still. Now, why was it still? It's because it's been going down for like 2.5 years and it had bottomed out. And even zombie virus was not enough to make these things capitulate. And then we had DeFi season after. It's basically like nothing that was happening in the world was going to stop what was coming ahead of it. So that's why I'm quite confident, even if there is a recession, even if there is some sort of hiccup, some sort of world turmoil, because altcoins have been going down for freaking 3 long years, bleeding out, feels like a massive scam. I am very confident that we just go up no matter what. Doesn't matter what news they throw out at us. Doesn't matter what the rates are. So it's like we're almost destined to win from now. Welcome to cycles. Now, I'm just going to go check out the news of the day here with you. So Donald Pump, friends, actually biggest news of the day, right? Donald Pump says he's open to the US buying altcoins made in the USA. He's considering a strategic reserve, and then they said coins such as Ripple, such as Soylana, founded in the US of A. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Well, this is perfect retailer bull market trap stuff. It's not the trap now. It just feels like it can make people suspend their belief about the 4-year cycle later on in the year. They're like, well, you never predicted this. The US government's going to buy these altcoins, this type of language. This is exactly what I love to see. I want to see people basically give up on the idea that formulas are a thing. Okay, see, it's kind of like, friends, like you're in a maths test, and there's a question here: 2 + 2 is 4. Well, wouldn't you get some confidence if everyone in the classroom started believing 2 + 2 is 7? You'd be like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I can't convince you otherwise, because that's exactly what it is in markets. You're dealing with emotions out here. But also, a lot of people, they're starting to look at this as a reason for like why, say, XRP and Soylana must pump now and do their big stuff. Well, it could be the momentum fuel, but just look what happens, friends. They start mentioning this stuff after it goes up. You know what I mean? Like this is when they start talking about it. You know what I mean? If you're a believer of XRP, you're buying at 50, 60 cents for like years. You've been long for a long time, 50, 60 cents. Now it's up like 5x already. I'm hoping there's another like, 3, 4, 5, 6x enough to go, but that's something interesting just to think about. I want to show you as well. This is going to be Soylana ETH ratio. It is up here, but look, when it comes to these things, I mean, this thing did have a reversion back up here and it still kept going down. Doesn't mean this thing's going to keep going down. I'm just telling you that perhaps with Soylana, it's about opportunity cost now in the bull market. It's like, okay, everything's going up. We're all destined to go up. What are you going to pick the best? It's interesting that this is the PulseChain to Sol ratio. And what will be most fascinating is if Pulse flips green on this, and like, so you'll know, right? Because we're watching this every day. Not everyone watches this stuff every day. You'll know, like, wait a minute. We flipped green with Interpol FUD, with SEC FUD, with Solana being a potential US strategic reserve option for Donald Trump. We still flipped green against it. So that's like your indicator, like, oh, because, a lot of people, friends, when this happens, I guarantee you, they're not going to buy here. No one will buy here. We'll be telling Ivan he's not going to do it. I always feel like, I hope they should do it, but they're probably not going to do it. But however, it hasn't confirmed green yet. Okay, they probably won't do it. And then it's because of the reasons I told you. They're like, oh, I don't want to go from these like lukewarm, nice waters to these to this other cold, blistering, ice cold waters where it's like uncomfortable feelings of like, Interpol, SEC, what's going to happen? It's an old EVM technology, this type of stuff. But it's kind of funny. I'm like, bro, you just watch XRP, who have literally invented zero technology, they had to copy paste the Uniswap code and all these other stuff. There's no payment solutions, there's nothing. They didn't even get the Swift partnership. It went to Chainlink, but they just have an XRP army. You just watch that happen, and it's going to happen again in real time against you. But this is the game, friends. Not everybody is comfortable doing these. A lot of people just want to see a lot of confirmation. But yeah, that'll be something for us to watch out for. By the way, this thing was a huge spike when it went up there. So I mean, like, it'd be nice if we have some sort of spike up, but I guess we'll see when that plays out. In some other cracking news of the day, PulseX has officially ticked over to 6% buy and burn down here in the bottom left, friends. So PulseX, friends, this is wonderful to see. So 6% total buy and burn of the user supply gone forever, bought and burned. So it's 1.2 trillion tokens gone of PulseX. Remember, there's a supply of 20 trillion. So 1.2 trillion is gone. That's beautiful, man. That's awesome. So 1.2 trillion tokens is worth $120 million at SAC price. Okay, so we have effectively chewed up $120 million of buy and burn. That's beautiful. Now, it's because the prices went down so low, because this is what a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't understand what the hell they were holding, right? Because you're in PulseX, people were dumping it at these lows down here. They're dumping it. They're calling it a failure. They're dumping it 90% low. I mean, like, honestly, I don't mean to, like, and you're dumping at 80% below SAC price here in August of last year. And still today, man, you're still selling at 60% below SAC price. So effectively what happens is people have introduced supply. They've dumped it onto the market. They've dumped it onto the deck. So the supply is there on the shelf. And then this buy and burn has been buying it up in the background. So they're just like, what they've done is very, very silly, but you need to get these people out. These people are real non-believers, and now that they've gone out, hopefully we start to ratchet up. This is a perfect higher low bottom. This is like a very, very classical higher low, just creeping up. There's probably going to be some soy boy stuff here, go up, come back down here. We have to test that day one SAC, and then maybe by the end of next year we do some sort of hyperloop. I'm hoping we get something like that, but we'll see. PulseChain core coins as a whole, green across the board. For the past 24 hours. So you have everything moving up. Incentive token up 5%. Everything's up pretty much 5-6%. they're all just moving together. But yeah, we don't really care about these 5 or 6% moves because we need a 300% move, not even exaggerating, just to get back to break even. That's pretty much what it comes down to in Pulse. Pulse ETH ratio is still down 75% against ETH. When's it going to resolve itself? Well, probably just need Ethereum to go higher. That's maybe a potential scenario. Where's Ethereum going to? I have my 2 fib targets, friends. This feels like target number 1, 7K. Target number 2, 11K. That's pretty much it. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I wanted to hit 14 or 15. We wanted to hit infinite prices. All I'm just telling you is, if it goes to 11, all right, you have to make a decision at that point, okay? Because if you're wrong, if from 11, okay, so let's say it goes to 11 by the end of this year, it can go to like 14, or you know what the next stop is, right? It's gone down, well, pretty much, it's gone down to like 4 or 5, okay? And who's to say even has to stop here? It could just, if it stops up there, I mean, like it's Ethereum, man. It could come back all the way to like 3,400, back to the prices we're seeing today. So, and you know, if Ethereum does this move down, goodbye literally every single altcoin. And like, I'm not even exaggerating, goodbye every altcoin we're holding for 3 years at that point. So the stakes do get high as the prices go up more, but that's something we have to think about as that time period comes. And I've got to remind you as well, PulseChain's biggest move, if it repeats like X, will be after Richard thinks the top for Ethereum is in. Okay, that's exactly what happened to Hex in 2021. So I guess the biggest move came out. So yeah, friends, there's no perfect free lunch in this game. Everything is a risk, and it's a believe in something cycle. In more news of the day, right? So Coinbase have launched Bitcoin loans for US users, and I've written, don't do this, please don't do this. So Bitcoin loans, we all know from BlockFi, you know, we had Anthony Pump, like rocket ship, get on board. One of the greatest memes, actually funny, from last cycle. So this is, friends, this is so traditional to like everything to do with finance for the past 100 years. The bull market, it starts on pessimism. They start on pessimism. The press, no one wants to take any leverage. It's been a deleveraging. The pessimism is because everybody has deleveraged. They grow on FUD. You know, so you've run out of sellers, but you don't know that. So you go up, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. It doesn't feel good though, because all the lows, you think they're going to crack lower. That's pretty much what we've been going through, right? They grow on this FUD. They grow on this pessimism. Sorry, they grow on the skepticism, okay? Like, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen, anxiety, all these other things. They grow on that. And then they accelerate into this confidence, euphoria. That's actually when they die. They die on that. Now, in the midst of that, people do actions, right? Their actions speak louder than words. They take on more leverage during that time. They're like, I'm confident. These things are growing. Everybody's holding hands together. There's a disco ball that I'm going to show for you in a moment here. There's a disco ball and everyone's partying and everything's going great. And look, people do stuff, right? That's why I've shown you. They do things such as, you know, buy altcoins. That's why others BTC traditionally goes up. The top's around here and the top's around here. Okay, so that's what they traditionally do. But also part of that is, so altcoins is like spot leverage, which is good, right? Because you can hold out long enough, you can. But unfortunately, people don't just stop there. They go to like real leverage, as in borrowing other people's money leverage. So once you do that, margin leverage, then you introduce a lot of problems because they want a return on their money over time. They want that. And if you can't deliver that, you got to get forced exits. So that's what's happening. I guess Coinbase is giving out the Bitcoin loans. Please don't do that. They're probably going to offer yield. Maybe you'll be able to get a loan on your Bitcoin from them. Just don't do that, man. Just don't do that. Is like, the sad part is, this is what happens every time. The times to take out the loans is like precisely the zone where you think it's all over. Okay, it's like when you think it's really over, like, which is pretty much 2022. That was the time to take on the loan. But you're like, hey, I don't want to take out a loan then. I thought literally the crypto industry was going to zero. I'm like, yeah, hop on board, friends. This is how market cycles work. The time to take on loans was when FTX was getting liquidated. Also, the second best time was in 2023. Now, in 2023, do you remember, this felt like a horror show? We all thought, everyone was like, oh man, if this doesn't work out, this is going down, this is going down, this is going down. Okay, everyone thought that. One more big shakeout. Like, you can imagine, if you're buying Bitcoin at 30K, you're still scared of a 50% wipeout. Then you feel like the biggest idiot. Like, everyone really thought, friends, rates are high. Everyone thought, well, this can happen. One more liquidation, poke the low, and then go up. You understand how bad it felt here. Because if you're buying the top of a range, because, oh man, it's not easy. It's never easy. It's never easy. The only person who makes it is someone who says, you know what? I'm here for a 3-year view. I'm here for a long-term view. Now, theoretically, you're meant to only think about, oh, the next 1 year ahead. But man, do you really want to, like, it's crypto, man. They've thrown everything at us. What if one cycle, we get a delayed cycle by a year and it gets everybody out in that year and then we go the year after, you know? So that's something you got to think about. So with the Bitcoin loans, Coinbase loans, you shouldn't even be on Coinbase, to be honest. They do a lot of like account blocking and all these, all the edge is on chain, as we know. Remember, you got to find an active community, going on chain, using dexes and stuff out here, looking for information asymmetry, everything we've gone through before. It's not getting these loans out. So loans are for non-believers, friends. It's for people who, they don't watch your friends on me. They're not here 18 hours a day. They don't even watch someone who's here 18 hours a day. They're not getting free alpha. They're not even doing the alpha, the research themselves. They just, I get it, but it's too difficult to come in and they're like, dude, there's 500 coins to them. And they're like, and every single person tells me their coin's the future. They have no idea where to start. So what they do is they stick to what they're familiar with. They go, oh, I understand XRP and Soy. I understand Bitcoin. I understand Ethereum, right? Vitalik's cut coin right now. I understand them. So what I'll do is I'll just take on leverage on them. That happens every single time. It's so easy. It's so accessible. So it's like instead of see if you look at the amount of pain, right? So instead of people, give you an example, instead of people hunting for say a 20x on, say, PulseChain, instead of them doing that, what the people who end up doing is they go, well, I've got Bitcoin, and okay, when you do a 20, if you do a 20, Bitcoin does it too. But this is what they do. They look at all the communities. So this is I'm talking to you about the mind of the market, friend. So someone comes in and they go, well, okay, I see 10 different people. They're all convicted about their coin. Okay, all these, like this PulseChain and the Peppy and which Landwolf is going to come back, etc. All these, okay, and they're like, well, all of you are relying on one thing. You all need Bitcoin to go to 200K. You all need Ethereum to go towards 10K. So what people do is they go, oh, I'll just take on a leveraged position on the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because if it goes down, then you guys lose anyway. That's what they say. But this is a problem, right? The leverage that people do and the wipeouts that happen end up being detrimental to them. Do you see what ends up happening? Whereas if you just sat there, I mean, like, friends, imagine someone was, say, looking at XRP and they're like, and they tried to do just leverage on like Bitcoin instead. Like, you've missed out on something like that. By the way, what if they chose leverage on the wrong coin? That's what ends up happening. It becomes very, very volatile, very, very dangerous for them. So you understand the stakes get higher here once you start to play with other people's money. When you're just sitting in spot, markets usually go higher than you think, but they can like swing lower than you think in the short term. In other news as well, the US Fed Waller, he said that there's 3 or 4 cuts possible this year. Remember, US rates are like 4.5%. 3 or 4 cuts. It depends on the inflation. It doesn't really matter. So I've shown you like we've seen like interest rates. We saw a bigger others BTC rally when interest rates were going up and tightening, rather than when they were at 0% and QE infinity. Okay, so this percentage, like you gotta understand, like when this flipped green, this thing went from 3.4% and it peaked up to 31%. That's a 9x. Oh my gosh, man, that 9x. And by the way, in that year, Bitcoin ran 17x. That's wild, man. So if you want to figure out what did the average altcoin do, it's literally 9 times 17. It's 150x. That's exactly what the average altcoin did. But that's true, right? We know that's what others USD went up 250x in that year. If you look at the chart from the beginning of the year, but this starts in March. So there you go. There's your 100x for every altcoin. Done. That's crazy. Okay, what happened in 2021 cycle? Okay, when you flipped green, how far did it go? It went from 15%, this number 15%, and it peaked at 50%. So you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, 15 into 50, it's about 3.3x. Okay, but how much did Bitcoin move in that period of time? And the answer is about, from February there, it was about 2.5. So if you do 3.3 times 2.5, you get your 8x. That was exactly what every coin did, and then they stopped. Now, of course, if you're new, if this is your first cycle, okay, you're probably thinking, if you've been watching me, you're like, oh, I'll take an 8x. 8x makes you feel good. Sit down for 5 seconds before I mog you, okay? 8 is considered an abomination number because in 2017, everything did 100x. And then 8 doesn't sit here for you. It doesn't sit there for a year for you to earn yield and think about taking profits. It literally pings 8. 60 days later, it's down 50%. That 90 days later, it's down 70%. It's over. So you're 8x. 60 days later, you're only up 4x. And then people are saying, hey, bull market's over. Some people are saying it. Like some people are saying it. You're like, wait, no, it can't be over, bro. Like Bitcoin isn't 100K. Like these numbers are nowhere near. I thought we're going much higher. That's how everyone got trapped. I'm sure I ignite a lot of PTSD, unfortunately, when people are going through this because it's been a long, painful 4 freaking years of that. But yeah, and by the way, this was infinite QE, 0% rates. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. Okay, but this is interesting, right? From when it flipped green, it went 3.3x. Okay, but this one was a 9. Okay, so it would be nice if this did another 3.3x if it repeated it. So where would that? So remember, we flipped green here at 20%. Where would 60% be? It is actually, funny enough, right here. It's actually like right at the circle. That's why I've got it here. If we repeat that cycle and we come up here, okay? So then you would be like, wait a minute, rates were high and rates were 0, and then we had the same multiplier. Except there was a difference, right? In 2021, the alt season wave happened in wave 1. So you made the money at the start and everyone wanted longer, okay? Which is interesting because now, last year, everyone wanted longer. Sorry, last cycle, 2021, everyone wanted longer, but it stopped short. But now it's the opposite. Now everybody wants it to be shorter. Interesting how it's flipped, which maybe means that we do actually have a double bubble alt season, and then we go at the end of the year. Cool. Now, what I'm going to do, friends, before any racism continues, is play some pump music. XRP is only 2.1x away from flipping Ethereum. Can you believe it? XRP, man, it's almost, look at this, friends. It's literally only like a 2.2x away. XRP is like $3.50. So what's been going on? Of course, if you're watching my channel, friends, yes, XRP is, remember, I've literally made a video, the most important coin in crypto, and I wrote XRP. Now, I can't actually find my specific video up here where I have it. However, there's one of them, friends. So it is true that XRP, I made my video last year. It's like the most important coin. No tech, copy pasted everything, just sits there. It skipped 2021. And back then when it was at the low, and I was saying, well, if this thing can get back to the high one day, because you didn't know when. I thought it was going to happen at the end. Always guess at the end. You never know. If it can get back to the high one day, it will just prove all of our crypto theories, hypotheses true. Memes, cults, religions. It's got nothing to do with the tech. Everything I've been talking about has now been proven true because of XRP. Everything, okay? They skipped 2021. They had corrupt SEC. Literally, friends, there's no tech, no banking, no nothing. Literally nothing out here. They just have a community. The community is the asset. That's what I've been saying. The community is the asset. Memes, cults, religions. Okay, the community is the asset. It's not the code. It's not the tech. It's actually the community, which makes sense if you look at real-world examples all the time. A city doesn't have to have the most tech. But if it has a large number of people and the average income of those people are high, it's going to blow every other city in the world. Okay? So we see this all the time. And there's many, many examples. Just like, you know, the suburbs and property and all these. It happens in digital real real estate, physical real estate, and also happens now in crypto, digital real estate. So I have confidence more confidence now. Thank you to XRP. because if you want to ask a good question, right? Shami, what happens if XRP never went to its all-time high? It just stays down forever. And I said, man, that would be very difficult for everyone in crypto. Very difficult. Because it would mean you get fooled by everything. It doesn't matter if you stick together. You're just trash. That's what it would mean. However, XRP, with like trash tech, no innovation, all these just copy-pasting stuff, it didn't matter. They have the people there. That's all that matters, the people. Which is funny because in stocks, it's the opposite. In stocks, it doesn't matter who the people are. It doesn't matter if you've got a lot of people who know about it. It's about the product or service that they're selling, some physical item. It doesn't, see what I mean? It's opposite. That's why Warren Buffett is like, oh, I got to separate the growth, or if everyone likes this thing, I got to look at the product. Does it have a good moat around the product? Crypto's opposite, man. But it's literally like, if you, like I said, I always use the example, okay? You've got a patch of grass. One of them's in rural India. One of them's in New York. You already know, oh, duh, I want to own the patch of grass in New York. Yeah, but the fertilizer's the same. The soil is the same. Maybe you can even grow more stuff in the India one. That's like utility. Oh, I can grow stuff. I can get yield out of this land. You go, dude, I don't care. I'm living in India. I'd rather live in New York. Higher GDP. You know what I mean? There's people aren't pooping around on the streets. You know what I mean? Like, you'd rather pick the New York one, and you know it inherently because of the people there. There's no technology with the soil, and like I said, even the example of like less farming capabilities of this, just this closer proximity to the big city that you want. On the topic of XRP, friends, I just want to show you something. I still have my prophecy of Link XRP. Okay, Link XRP ratio has been obliterated. Why? Because XRP has been mooning. So this thing was up here. Look, it's come back all the way down 76%. Okay, so this is ChainLink XRP. XRP is making this double bottom. So if this, I do believe one day this flips. This is a long way, but this could, oh man, this might be another cycle thing, but who knows? But it's just showing you ChainLink is really cheap against XRP. Really cheap. ChainLink has the Swift partnerships and all these other things, but like, I know it takes more than that. There's more XRP Marines out there, and that's why the valuations are like that. But just showing you, like, because I have this chart, I know that ChainLink is like super cheap as well. Speaking of, if you want to know something, friends, I made a video on on how high PulseChain can go. And obviously you can make any case out here, but it's coming out really soon. The important concept I'm just going to show you is there's this strange phenomena that happens, and that is the $100 billion market cap resistance zone, which has plagued like even XRP, everything. So like XRP, like I have so many, I have to make like another just full video out here for you. This is pretty much it. Look, XRP topped 100 billion, BNB 100 billion, 100 billion, 90 billion, 83, 45, 50, 100 billion ETH. So pretty much every single altcoin, this is fact, every altcoin, when they reach near 100 billion, the first time they reject, they can't hold it. Every coin, it's happened. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 8 times it's happened. By the way, it depends. Like, would you consider Hex and SHIB hitting near 100 billion? They only hit 45 to 50 billion. So it's within 2x, but you got to think like it's near that. And the others are more like really close to it. Even Soylana hit 83 billion back then. So that's 8 out of 8 times. Only one coin, Bitcoin, hit 100 billion and then ran to 300. The one unicorn. And that was in 2017. It hit $6,000, then it ran up to like $20,000, okay? So I'm thinking this 100 billion number, for some reason, would like all these different coins, different narratives, different cycles, some in 2017, some in 2021, didn't matter, okay? They hit around this 100 billion, don't know why. There's like this magical, mystical thing. It can't hold around them. Ethereum hit 140 billion in 2017, 2018. That was over $1,400, and then it came back down. So like, even though if you sold at 100 billion, you have to watch this thing go another 40% fast, thinking like, oh crap, I left so much. You think you left money on the table and you can't phone it back in. But why I'm showing you that is if you're looking at, say, Link's market cap, right? It's about 14 billion now. So where would roughly 100 billion take ChainLink? It's about a distance. So if you go from here, the market cap, it would be around 6x here. Maybe it flushes just a bit higher. Maybe it's a bit of a friendly cycle. Who knows? About 6, 7x. Do you really want to be risking it up here, by the way? That's the question. So even at, let's just check 100 billion. That's about a 6.8x. So that would be, if you're looking at ChainLink's price, 6.8 times, and the price is $23. It's about 160 bucks. So it's about $160. So that would be Link. So I really do think ChainLink is going to around 160 bucks up here. That would be around up there. This first time up here. And then we got to think about what to do in that next bear market. So that's just something to think about. There's also, when I look at the Link ETH ratio, this is the poopy part, because if ChainLink only does like a 6 and Ethereum does a 3, then this thing only goes up 100%, which is horrible. It only sits here. I want to show you that what it looks like on a linear chart. My gosh, that's still pretty much, that's trash. That's absolutely garbage. So I don't know how it's going to rectify itself. Does Chainlink go a bit further and Ethereum goes less? I don't know. Or maybe the $100 billion number doesn't apply this cycle. I don't know. But it's like, it's up. Look, you don't know the future. This is the funny part, right? People think that, so I saw someone in the comment section once. They said, Somi, Hex is going to $10 this cycle. And I said, hey, bro, it could go to $10. Okay, I just want to tell you something, okay? If it's sitting at 60 cents in December this year, okay, you know if you get it wrong in your outlook forward, you know what that means in altcoins. It means you go down for 3 years. Literally 3 years. You've seen that. You go up for 1 year, down for 3 years. So if you're at 60 cents, you then have to decide, okay, are we going to go higher to $10 or is the next stop lower? So you got to protect against yourself. Maybe you say, you know what? I'm happy to take out 2/3 of my position. I'm getting you to at least think about something like that rather than you thinking like, wow, it's 60 cents. We're so close to $1. That's another 50%. I'll wait it out. You know, because you just don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out here because people think they have this imagination where they go to sleep, they wake up, oh, it's up to $15. I get to click out. No, it doesn't work like that. It goes up and then it stalls and then it fakes everyone out. And then it goes up and then it stalls. It fakes everyone out like that. But one of the fake outs and then you go, oh, it's just another fake out. Oh no, then it dropped another 50%. And then you're begging everybody for like more signs that the bull market is still on. That's how cycles all go. Also news, friends, Senator Cynthia Lummis. So just to show you, friends, so this lady, lovely lady, pro-crypto, she has revealed, she's done some whistleblowing. And like, this word conspiracy is just a coconut intelligence agency word, okay? Yeah, these conspiracies are true, okay? She has now confirmed the FDIC, so the Federal Deposit Insurance Cuck Agency, evil scum, American agency, they have been secretly destroying Operation Choke Point documents. So the US government have had a secret ploy, deep state, it's obviously, friends, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. It's deep state, US Fed, corrupt SEC, it's literally the evil banking cartel. That's obviously the only people who have the rivals to crypto, right? Because everybody else is poor, wants to make money. So these scum, they have had Operation Choke Point 1, Operation Choke Point 2. They're literally trying to choke out crypto. So none of it can advance. Everything stalls out so they can get their tentacles in. They can control everybody, control the population. You know what? Maybe they win one day. But right now, give us this grace period where we win in the cycle. So she's been confirming it. They've been illegally poisoning crypto for years and years and years. Obviously, corrupt chairman Gary Gensler, honk, with his clown nose, is literally out any day now. In 3 days, he's gone. And remember, they reappealed to call XRP security, so honk to them, clown nose. They also said that Elon Musk is running a security joint. They're trying to sue him as well. So it's corrupt. They see just that when we saw that, everybody just felt. I know we all felt like, wow. I know we were all saying it was a sham, it was a scam. We're just saying that maybe it was just cope words, but after seeing them reappeal for XRP and sue Elon Musk, we're like, okay, now we definitely know you're a scam. Your whole thing's just a freaking scam. Nobody respects you whatsoever. You're wasting everyone's time. We know you are. But it's not just wasting, it's evil ploy, man. It's evil dark forces from behind. This is one thing, friends. Everyone's got like a pet peeve of things they don't like. What really burns me about the average population, this is what really burns me. Most things don't burn me. There's one thing that burns me. It's self-cuckery, but also it's this. It's citizens walking around, my fellow brothers and sisters, where they just keep believing the narrative that the government is incompetent. That triggers me on the inside. I go, you are the biggest cuck. You give hope to people who want to be a dictator king one day. You're an actual retard. These people, friends, unfortunately, we have to let the society know, like, hey, you know, the government is smart. They know how to keep power. They are not incompetent, okay? Because if you have two explanations to give somebody, one, I am evil and I know what I'm doing, or two, I'm incompetent. I didn't know that was going on. Okay, the incompetent one is always the one chosen every single time. I go, I didn't know, so I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just so incompetent every single time. Every single time. If more people open their eyes to that, maybe we'd have a bit of a different society. But then, I don't know, friends. We're not even really control of society, are we? We all know that there is some sort of. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. Like, have you ever wondered why? I think about this all the time. How have governments been run by like really old guys 60 years old plus. But they've had the same consistent planning for like 200 years. How's that happen? It can only mean one thing. There are forces out there, probably extraterrestrial, non-human intelligence at the very, very, very top that's doing some sort of the controlling that does it over here. And it's not probably for our bad stuff. It's because me and you are humans. We still got the barbarian stuff, reptilian part of our brain. But I really do believe that. And I think there's just too much evidence showing you that. Because like, how do you explain, like, how come the government meant to be incompetent? They're like so consistent with their long-term thinking, and the guys come in 60 years of age, they're dead in 15 years, and then someone new comes in. So there has to be another force at play. Hopefully we can get rid of this choke point 2.0 for good. Donald Trump's coming in. He's going to keep cucking them. But yeah, also, is it controlled opposition as well? We'll see, friends. Look, I'm just going to be honest, man. I'm glad Trump's in. I want us bags to pump. I'm just letting you know. I know how these stories usually go, okay? If you're a Martin Shkreli type, you get short now, you get wrecked, okay? For us, the trap has to form, though. You know what I mean? So we need this year to be good. We can think about how contrarian one should be with the prices given at the end of this year. We can think, by the way, if you want to keep taking profit now, feel free, friends, because technically you're meant to be taking profit 2% every week, okay? You're meant to be selling right now. You know, that's funny. Like, don't listen to anybody who even says now, oh, this person is selling and stuff. Like, here's the thing, man. You're planning to sell in 12 months from now. They're just planning to sell now. So you're both planning. You have no intention of freaking holding this for another 5 years. These abominations. You know what I mean? And speaking of abominations, Ethereum continues getting cucked. ETH BTC dropping again, friends. So where to from now? We are consistent. It's all the same thing. By the way, this is the others BTC chart. Remember the 4-year cycle. 3 years red, 3 years red, 3 years red, and the green 1 year. We're still waiting for this friendship. So we are waiting now. We're in this grace period. Trump comes in. Okay. Right now, by the way, maybe by the time, actually within the next 15 hours, there's the crypto ball, the disco ball, the disco ball event for crypto in Washington. And there's like Coinbase sponsoring and all these other stuff. Okay. So that's coming. We have inauguration on the 20th. Okay. So we have all these. We've got corrupt SEC versus Richard Hart. Hopefully more clarification there. Friendly reminder. Donald Trump Jr. follows Richard Hart on Twitter. Also friendly reminder. Richard Hart has the same lawyers as Elon and the Trumps. The same lawyers. Okay. Queen Emmanuel. So that just increases the odds that we're going to get a good outcome. And those are the news relevant out here. We are now waiting. We're still in that period, right? If 2017 is the ghost factual spirit that's coming back, okay, if this is it. All the signs say it is, but if this is it, between now and February at the end, Ethereum just starts moving up. Out of nowhere, it has to get to 5K. Like, it's such an abomination piece of crap. It just has to get to 5K. Not even 4K at this point. Just get to 5K, you piece of crap. You have to go higher now. And a unicorn altcoin has to be running up somewhere. But you're probably looking at it with me. We're like, oh, we don't think this thing's going to go further. And then it does. But everyone keeps thinking that they've got the unicorn. We're still waiting for that moment. I don't know if it's going to be fart coin. I don't want to say fart coin. Like we've got fart on PulseChain. Everyone's having fun. We don't know what it is. It could be something totally new. You never know, man. Is it XRP? I don't know. Some sort of, maybe friends, maybe. Actually, it could be. Actually, when I think about it, it could be XRP. XRP just goes up. And it goes like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, every coin's coming back. XRP's coming back from the dead. We have to go get everything else. That could be the inspiration to get everyone else. And it's impossible to pick it. It's random. It's chaos. But just know that it's the lead indicator for everything else. That's what we're waiting for. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.